All right, what is up, everyone? My name is Peter Del Tondo, and I am your host this weekend next for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenges. We've been having a ton of fun the last couple of days. We've done some cool stuff with Auto Animate. We've done some cool stuff with stacks. And today we're going to get into one of the foundational aspects of XD and jump into the asset panel and show you how to utilize a couple of things to speed up your workflow and just make your life easier. So let's see what we got going on in chat today. Sarah, nice to see you. Anna, I'm not sure how to say that. Cornell, good to see you. Aaron, thank you last night for joining in on the stream. If you guys haven't yet, let me jump on over to my screen here. If you can, I'll tell you how to sign up for the challenges in a sec, but go and follow me on Behance as well. Every night about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be doing live stream reviews of the challenges that everybody's working on. So rather than just give feedback in chat, I like to do it on stream and get a little bit deeper. So if you go into the videos tab on my Behance profile, you'll see those videos, and if you click follow, you'll get a notification when I go live, and join in, be part of the conversation. If you want to hop in Discord with me and talk about your project while we're working on it and doing the reviews, we'll absolutely do that. So lots of fun. On that note, if you haven't yet signed up, these are one-off daily challenges. A couple of them, like today, we're going to use a previous challenge as a starting point. It'll save you 5 minutes. You don't need to have done the previous challenge. So by all means, feel free to jump in on any given day. Don't worry that if you didn't start right away that you can't join in. So we've set these up to be nice one-off challenges. So you can go into that page that Sam just linked and sign up for the challenge here at behance.net/challenge/XD. It's a mouthful. And in here, you can join the community chat, which will take you into Discord, which, by the way, let's double check that link totally works. I had somebody mention an issue the other day, but let's go back over here. And in that, each day you can come in, download the starter file for each day. And that's going to give you some of the insights and tools that you'll need to complete these challenges, as well as the directions. And then let's check out the Discord channel as well. So as we come over here, you're going to see a ton of channels. Don't worry, you don't need to be active in every single one of them, but the main channel that we are going to live and breathe in for the next 2 weeks is going to be right here, the current challenge channel. So what I want you to do is @tag me, make sure I see it, and go in, and every night I'm going to go through and review every one of the challenges, and I'll do a video feedback for you. And I love seeing what everybody's working on. Again, I love seeing Elise here, one of the other mentors this week. She'll be giving feedback on your projects as well. And it's just so cool to see everybody get excited and amped up at each other's challenges and point out some great things that are going on, as well as trying to give constructive criticism and feedback as well. And I love seeing things like from Bat here. This is my first challenge. I love that you're jumping in. I love that you are here and learning. And it's why, I don't know, for me, I'm not an educator, but this is like my teaching opportunity. And I love helping people that are excited to learn. So thank you all for tuning in. It means the world to me that you're here. And I love that you're working on improving what it is that you do. All right. So with that, let's take a quick look at the schedule. We're coming up next. We've got Draw Along with Kyle T. Webster, and then we are finishing off with Voodoo Val and Emmy from Good Rad Funny. So lots of fun stuff going on today. And I love, like everybody's saying, it's a family reunion in chat. Lots of friendly and familiar faces. It's so good to see everybody in here. All right. So let's dive right into this challenge. So I'll get into our previous screen from last time, but let's take a look at what we're doing today. So today we're going to be working on the asset panel. And in here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a Kanban board for a project management tool. And as you design, select custom color palettes and apply it to your screens. And we'll get into things like some typography and whatnot as well. I've got some fun games planned out here that if you want to keep score, you can set that up as well. And down here, just pulling a little bit of inspiration and taking a look at some really cool screens out there, seeing what other designers are doing, seeing what other tools are going on. Check out tools like ClickUp, which is what we use over at Unfold at Work, as well as things like Monday.com, Trello, Jira. Look at all the popular tools and see what's going on and dissect what you like about them and what you don't like about them, and then build your perfect and ideal solution. So taking a look at this, there's a couple of key things. We know we've got that menu on the left-hand side. We know over here we've got our lanes of like to do, in progress, out for review, completed, or whatnot. And so we can just come in and take a look a little bit here from a structure standpoint. Maybe we can look into cool things like does not zoom in well, but we can see here there's like a progress bar on this one. That's pretty cool. Coming over here, we've even got some like rating systems. So there's a lot of things that we could maybe include and take our designs a little bit further. But I'm going to try to keep things pretty simplistic for today for the purposes of this quick challenge, because we've got 20 minutes. So let's make this happen here. All right, let's come back up here to the top. All right, so this is our previous challenge. And so this is what we had worked on to create just kind of a basic container and structure for our application, as well as we were learning about stacks. So what I've done here is I want to set up another view. And as we say this, there's some things that, again, I want us to kind of go back and maybe apply some of the feedback that you got from myself or some of the other mentors in your last challenge, as well as look at things that maybe were missing or were mistakes or whatnot in your previous design. So one of the things that I knew was going to happen here is, hey, if I want to change views of this, if I want more filters, I probably need some kind of bar here up at the top that's going to allow me to, say, toggle views or have some kind of filtering system. So that might be something that I then look to add and create those items and be able to manipulate my my project in different ways. So we'll work on solutions for that kind of after the fact. But today, what we're going to focus on is the Kanban board view. So what we're going to do over here is I'm going to set up a couple of lanes, and maybe I'm just going to grab one of these images here just for the moment. I'm just going to put it above so I kind of have a rough view of what I want some of those lanes to be. So I'll come in here and we'll say something like to do. I like that they did the rocket ship emojis in there too. So you know what? Let's do something like that. I like that. To do. Then I'm going to come over here. We'll have in progress or working on. And then let's say client review. And then we'll mark something as completed. All right. So now that I've got my sections, I'll come in here. I'm going to standardize this type a little bit. Maybe we'll bring this down to like, let's go 20 semi-bold, and I'm going to bring the text color up a little bit. All right. So something nice and clean now. We can mark these up at the top. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can coordinate these. So we could do something where, as we see up top here in this example, it's all in kind of one board or container. Maybe I want to color code things a little bit more. So what I might do here is I'm going to set up a little section. And I want these all to be roughly the same length no matter what. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do something like this. And for now, we'll keep a little bit of a border on it. I'll match that up. Let's round that up a little bit so it's a little bit softer. I'm going to send this to the back. I'm not a hotkey person. I really should be. It would speed up my workflow tremendously. But that is one thing I've never been able to fully ingrain in myself. All right, so I've got my to-dos. I may bring these down a little bit in size. This still feels a little large to me. That feels better. All right, there we go. Great, so now I've got my card view set up. And I want to add a couple of things here that I think would be helpful to this. So maybe what I'll do, I'm actually going to remove this just for the sake of speed at the moment. I'm going to add another bar, and just at the top, I want to create some color patterns that we can show, here, that immediately I can see based on what lane it's in, what color that becomes. So maybe here I can do something, let's say to do, let's go with maybe, I don't want green. Let's do maybe kind of like an orange color. Something there, a little bit brighter. Cool, that works for the moment. So we'll bring that up top. And I'm just gonna pull that up here. And then set these up. All right, and then we'll just update these. So let's do in progress. Client review. And completed, or let's say approved. All right, so approved is easy. Let's make that green. So we'll bring that over here. Then client review, I don't know, we'll go with like a nice little purple. And in progress, maybe we'll go with something in that light blue family. Okay, I've got a couple of colors here. Now, I might want to change these colors. I want to start establishing a little bit of a foundation for my design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say colors, and I'm just going to start adding these colors as I go. And now I can come in, you can give these fancy names like sky blue or alien green or something along these lines. I do recommend naming conventions. It's a little bit more memorable rather than saying 770 FEE. It's a little easier to track and have conversation with your teammates, but I can start setting up that foundation. So another thing that I then want to do is I want to bring these down. I'm going to copy this, and maybe what I want to do is I want to create like a component for a card. And in this case, maybe I'll do something like this, but I don't want the whole card to be this bright orange. I want it to be a little bit softer. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down just to show a little trick. I'm going to bring this down in opacity, maybe something in this range. I'm going to come over here, select my fill, and now it's going to give me 100% opacity. So I'm not messing with opacities, but it's going to give me that variation of that color. So I'm going to add this once again here. So I've got that lighter color, and I'm going to move those so that way they're aligned with each other. And then in terms of the border color, I may come over here, and I can leave this off for the moment. But I want to have something a little bit lighter, and then I might do something where in this, let's see if I check this one out. I can do something where I could give it another top bar or something, but I kind of like this lightness. I might even pull this color down a little bit. But let's set this up in a similar fashion for these other colors. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make this one the blue. I'm going to make this one the purple. I'm going to make this one the green. And so really quickly, I'm able to pull from those same types of colors. And then once again, I'm going to bring this opacity down. I'm going to make that kind of subtle. And that works for the moment. So I am going to color picker all of these. Perfect. And once again, I'm going to add these colors. I'm going to put them by their accompanying larger color. So that way we've got some consistency there. So now here's what's really cool is, let's say I'm going to add a couple of cards. So you know what, I'll just create some things here. Maybe we'll say like dashboard design. I'll do something like this. And then we could have, maybe who's the assigned team member for this project. We could put them down here in the corner. We may want some things. I'm going to bring this type down. Maybe we've got or we just put the date. We could say like 8-24, or it could be in 4 days. And so we can do a lot of cool things here that are going to give us information and more insight into what the project is. We could build things out here like maybe some tags. And maybe this is going to use the stronger orange color. So I'll fill that out. And then in here, let's put up a little bit of text. And we could say this is UI design. So again, lots of different variable things that we could do in these items. But for the moment, this works pretty well. So I'm going to just kind of quickly, again, this is not the most designed thing out, but I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to add a couple of more items. Yep, let's bring this over. Bring one of these over. And then we'll bring these over. So what's really cool now is I could come in here and say, okay, I want these to be green. I'm going to quickly make some edits. And in each of these examples, I'm just going to be able to quickly go and grab the right palettes that I want for this. Oops. All right. So as we can see there, I mean, it took me like a minute and I was able to quickly modify everything. I would probably turn each of these into component states. That'll be a lesson for another day where I can do that. And now I've got quick, one click change access to change maybe from to do or in progress or client review or whatnot, and it'll change those colors. But I might come in here and I'm looking at this green and I'm going, this is a little too bright for me. I feel like I want to pull in a little bit more white. I think it needs to be a little bit softer. It's really tough on the eyes. So what I can then do is I can come over here and click edit. Excuse me, and now I can come in and I could change this to any color that I want. So as I move this anywhere in my design that is using that color swatch, it's going to update. So if I just hit undo here, I go back to where I was at, and we said maybe just bringing this in a little bit lighter, a little bit softer. And now it pops off a little bit more. And then I might want to add a border or something like that to it. We could do something really nice where, let's say we added a border color and maybe we made this that outside green. Now it really feels like it's able to support that. And I could then make that inside color even softer if I wanted to, because I feel like it's being supported by that outside border. So again, really, really cool being able to do that. It makes it very simple to quickly mass edit anything in your designs. So once again, I might come in here and say, hey, I think this orange is a little too much. Maybe I want to start off with something like this unfold watermelon pink. And so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to quickly update my to-do list to start with that pink. And then I may come in here again to this lighter version of it. And maybe I'm going to just now soften that up quite a bit. So I might come in here and just make that kind of like a little rosy pink, nice and soft. And I'm able to quickly mass update everything in my design. It didn't take me time to go back in, grab every section that's blue, and then individually change the color. I can do it in one fell swoop. So another thing that's really helpful with this, and I should have set this up earlier, but that's okay. We'll kind of start now, is if I wanted to, I can set up different type styles. So if we take a look here, I may come in here and I want to set up the card title. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to identify all the different character styles that I have. And I'm going to hit add. I'll come in here once again. And actually, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do this one by one. Now, when I take a look at this, it's going to show me the font that I'm using, the size that I'm using it, but that's really hard to understand and know as you get further into the project what that's being used for. So I'm going to show you a best practice that I like to do. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit rename. And what I like to do here is you might want to use like title 1 or H1, H2, H3, etc., or give it a name that is specific to its use case. So in this example, I might do something like task card title. And then I do like still having the font that's being used, the font family, or I might say something like, give me the weight, because more than likely I'm going to use the same font family for the majority of things, at least in a product. So what I might do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say 16, and then I'm actually going to take a look at this. So right now, I would probably adjust this, but let's say at the moment, we'll leave as is. What I would do is I'm going to hit rename and I'm going to do 16 over 21. And what that is going to tell me now is that I'm using a 16 point or 16 pixel font, and the over 21 tells me what the line height of that is. So now I'm able to quickly look at my character styles and know what it's used for, what the size and what the leading is. And it's really, really helpful when you scan through and do this in your designs. And so rather than update all of your type styles all at once, I would probably add them one by one, take the time to name these. That way you remember rather than trying to find out where it's connected to. So once again, I'm going to come in here, I'll hit rename, and I can say something like, let's see, this is 10 over 14, and I will say task tag. And then I may come down here and I'll say something like, keep hitting edit. I'm going to say task, or I could say due date or something. Due date. And then this is 12 over 16. So once again, this is doing a couple of things. This is going to work with the color of the type. And I can come in and change these components. So there might be things where I want to say, hey, everywhere this is used, I want it to be red. And excuse me, as you can see now, in any of the use cases that it's using the date, it has now changed that color. And so I can quickly come in here, change this everywhere in one foul swoop. I'm going to hit undo. But that's going to make things so much easier. And so if I wanted to, I could come in here to say the title, and you know what? I don't want to use this type anymore. I want to come in here and I want to change this to, let's see, maybe something like Montserrat. I can come in here now, I can do this, and now boom, everywhere that's being used, it's been adjusted. That feels a little bit large. It's larger in scale than the other font was. So I might come in here, I might adjust that a little bit. You know what? I feel like it needs a little bit of a bigger weight. I'm going to make this a little bit more bold. And now really quickly, I've edited that everywhere in my project. So when it comes time to manage your files, manage your design system, setting things up here in the asset panel is going to be really helpful to quickly make edits across the board. And it's going to save you so much time, because if I had to come in here and click every single one of these things and then go and make my changes, and then I decide to change it again, whether it's change the type or change the color, super frustrating. And I cannot tell you in the olden days how annoying and frustrating that was in design tools. So it's an amazing feature. And you can also come in here and create components. So we've got a minute. Let's take a quick peek at this. I might add like a little white border around that, or we can give that a little shadow effect. There's a lot of cool things that we can do with this. But one of the things that I might want to do is I might want to come in here and actually let's add a border here. Is I could grab this now. I'm going to group this and I'm going to create a component. And now in my component, I can call this client review card. And I can even do some other stuff here. So if I wanted, actually, let's take that border off. I could come in here and I could do a component state, and on hover, and I come over here now, I want on hover for this to have a border. So when I come into my prototype, maybe what happens is when I hover over the item, this occurs. And I could do things like shadow effects, I could do the outline, but all of this is going to be easily managed here in your component system. So anytime you want to have character styles, colors, components, creating your kind of atomic design structure, go check out some great articles from Brad Frost around that. It's going to be a really, really helpful tool. So with that, let me see if there's any quick questions in chat. I'm glad Aaron boom changed. Yes, that is the way to think about this. Or as Howard would say, boop, and all the things just work now. So it's a really, really cool feature. And yes, Joe, I'm with you. Group 206 and layer 605. When you get the chance, try to update your files and make sure that it's all nice and clean and tidy. But thank you all so much for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard. And make sure to go give me a follow over on Behance. I'll be streaming later tonight doing project reviews. Make sure you submit your challenges over to the current challenge channel over in XD. With that, hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy.